We're back with another YORU VOD from Eggster, and I'm really excited for this one because we got a great dancer behind me, and I know that the energy is going to be great. Let's get into it and learn more about YORU.
Watch out for this guy.
You're the one that plays with your balls during the round.
Okay. Just because I have my balls out right now, you caught me at a bad time.
What a great start.
You're grudgy.
Oh, I'm not that drunk.
So important to be doing exactly what Eggster did here. I've seen so many times I'm watching students go for a fight, and if they miss, or in this case, you break the shield, you get one shot, get out, keep your life, and move on for another fight.
Grudge.
One enemy remaining.
Grudge. Turn around.
What's really impressive is the second kill and just like how he is taking his time to make sure the crosshair's on. And the important thing here, again, you know, I've done this a million times, we're gonna do it again and again and again. What is key about this shot is not his ability to move his mouse left or right, it's his marrying of movement with crosshair placement with the flick. Okay, he's not really flicking, he's just moving and tracking the head towards the crosshair. So as he's moving slow, he's still in motion as he's adjusting his crosshair to the head to shoot the shot. So it's a marrying of both the movement and the aim portion of moving your mouse across. It's not just stand still and then move your mouse across. He does both at the exact same time. I'm sure we're going to see something very similar on this next gunfight as well.
Grudge. Turn around.
Yeah, even here, like he misses the first shot, but then as soon as he misses that first shot, he then starts moving to the left to be able to adjust, and he's also at the same time simultaneously adjusting with his mouse. So it's very important, guys, when you're playing your ranked games, don't just rely only on moving the mouse. You need to also marry WASD, and that's where mass protocol and all these things that we talk about on every single video that I ever posted really comes into fruition.
How does aim feel after the morning routine? The whole point, the routine, bro, you don't just like absorb it instantly. It's all about sleep, bro. Oh my god, I just got a wave of gratitude, bro.
Ooh, you're so fancy.
You know what I just thought? At the end of the day, bro, after all my hardships, all my DMs, all my scrims, all my ranked matches, all my bad teammates, all my bad rounds, all my unlucky moments, I get to go to bed and full reset.
This is actually so important for multiple reasons. Being a health and fitness professional, I can say that sleep obviously helps you recover in more different ways than one, but also the reinforcement of good sleep helps you to pattern things. So we're talking about aim in this particular situation, being able to pattern what it is that you've done over the day and then have it kind of like deposit in your brain is also an important piece for sleeping. Recovery is so important. Stress management. So I actually love that he's talking about these different things.
And I'll come back stronger tomorrow.
8 hours is so
I'm very
important.
grateful for that. Oh my god, I'm so grateful. Oh my god, guys. I can't stop myself. Help, I can't stop peeking. Help!
So if you want to become a Radiant level YORU player, you just need to keep doing these kinds of plays over and over again. This is approved by your coach.
I have nothing.
See.
Oh my god. Flash!
I got
Flash!
Dude, the Omen blinded me.
We'll talk about flash placement here. I really like the second flash. The key here is that obviously the TP is already active, ready to go and set up. Okay, so he can play in these angles a little bit more freely. The obvious power of playing a character like YORU, playing a character like Jet and Reyna and even Chamber is that you can play angles like this. Now these angles here are called one and done angles. Why? Because typically you get one pick off, and because it's very gimmicky as a position and there's no real escape route in normal terms, you will get traded almost instantaneously. But the power of playing YORU is that you always have this TP and this get out of jail free card always set up. So the intention here, if things get dicey, is Eggster's going to back off TP right away. So he's got that confidence to play in this kind of angle right here. Now, the cool parts of this is that, and I've talked about this with a lot of students as well, notice how Eggster is not just peeking this dry, he's always leading in with the flash. And the flash is fantastic because you could throw it pretty much any which way, and as soon as it makes contact, it shows up. So you've got a power to be able to throw it deep, short, whatever it is that you want to do, and then by the time they see it, it's already too late. So it's a really, really good flash for that reason. Again, If he's going to go for another peek, which he's going to do right here, he's throwing that flash up into the branch, bounces straight down. It's going to hit everybody in front of him. Now, the only thing that I want to hear him doing more, and for you guys to do more, is when you're throwing those flashes, is communicate that you're flashing this location. I'm flashing into long. I'm flashing into long again. These are important pieces of communication. Now, in this situation here, Eggster doesn't necessarily have to do that because his teammate is smoked off and his teammates aren't even existing in that position, so it's not that big of a deal. But it's still a good practice to just get into the habit of doing that. Eggster does this regularly, but for you guys at home, keep doing it on every single flash. That way you're never really leaving anything up for error or making a mistake that could be flashing your teammates for. Another lead in, another great flash. Another flash on the second one there.
Bro, no,
see, it's just
really want that.
It's 2 4Ks, doesn't quite get the ace on both these rounds, but again, like guys, it's very simple. So many times I watch students just trying to dry peek these things without even using one piece of utility. And we're talking about students that go up as high as Ascendant, even Immortal sometimes. It's a very simple game. Lead in with the flash, give yourself a chance. Now, another thing, I had a student recently, Ascendant level player, who did this very same thing. The difference was he was playing Phoenix, and what he did was he flashed around this corner, and then he wide swinged to expose himself to this angle first, and also the angle on window at the same time. Watch the difference here on this flash and how far Eggster decides to peek. He's isolating for this fight and not isolating for both fights at the same time. He wants to challenge the one at a time. And the second one here as well, it's going to be the same idea. Deal with this one, focus on that one. Don't expose too wide. Okay? And then he takes the window fight. So one threat at a time, super important. And if you don't get anything, you at the very least get information. You could also challenge forward if you wanted to. There's a lot of different options after these first picks or these first fights on the first entrance here.
You come big boy with breaker now. Say yes.
Yeah, breaker.
Same idea here. Probably going to lead in with a flash. Isn't going to do it yet. Here comes the TP. No way.
Two more.
He should have TP'd. I'm not sure why he hasn't. Did he not have TP active? He did. So again, I think he's having a little bit of a giggle here in this game. This is an automatic leave situation altogether, or fall into the corner, throw a flash, and then repeat the angle. One of the two needs to be done here. We do have ult here, so probably going to be opening up with ult. He was thinking about it. This is where he's going to probably ult to retake. Yeah, here we go. Good combo ult here. For those of you at lower ranks, I don't see this enough, where students are actively using ults paired together to be able to get the most out of them. This is a great combination between Sova and YORU. Could be close. He just doesn't give a shit at this point. He's having a good time. He's enjoying himself.
Come on. Make sure we play on, boys. You dead.
Oh my god.
A ton of dry fights here. Here comes the flash play. And again, like I've talked about this on the last VOD when we were looking at mid-bind, there's no need to do any of this stuff. You've already got the round locked down. You can just basically just maintain the position. Flash pushing through that doesn't really need to happen. If you were to do this, you know, asking for a dart to be able to enable you so that you can pull attention away. On top of that, throwing a flash obviously important, but the real issue and risk that we have doing plays like this, I'm looking at this and saying, well, they've come through long. As a person who's trying to win this game and limit risk and, you know, just basically lock the round down, this first push right into the smoke is pretty much death almost all the times in your ranked games and your levels. At this point too, even at his level, he should be losing here. So we're very fortunate that it ends up going as well as it does here. But he knows damn well that it's probably not going to be the best move 9 times out of 10. And there's really no need to, being that it's 4v2. So again, being able to differentiate what's a good play and what's a bad play based on what you're seeing in the content and when they're streaming, very important. Ask yourself, would I really do this? Does this make sense? Or is it better to just play off and let them come to me? Using an ult to re-clear and scale, see what's going on.
Feels like A.
Yeah, man.
Notice the comms here. Feels like very important to communicate like this because you have theories behind things. And this leads into what we call prediction comms. When you have prediction comms, you're taking educated guesses. And it can mean the difference between winning and losing a gunfight for your teammates if they can position themselves properly off comms like this. So again, you know, I talked about this in previous videos, but predictive, proactive, and then reactive, PPR. So reactive comms would basically be a person peeks long, so was that long, right? That would be a reactive comm. Proactive would be kind of what we talked about earlier in this VOD. I'm flashing this angle. Prediction is basically, I think the enemy's gonna do this. So any comment or statement that's like, I think, I feel, it's kind of like a percentage. It's not like 100% they're gonna go here, but it's enough of a percentage that we need to pay attention and kind of be aware of that. So pay attention to that when you're watching these kinds of VODs. Default. This is the first threat that we should be clearing. So you'll notice the jump spot. As he's coming back here, I always say to a lot of my students, if your teammate is not there, we need to be more aware. So you'll notice that with high-level players, they typically have a system. And the system for peeking is info first. So in this situation, we jump peeked it and decided, hey, do we want to take this fight? The second peek is deadly intention. You typically follow this order and never kind of break the order by adding deadly intention being first, because you don't really know if it's a fight that you want to take. Now, the option here is that we have the TP. So let's say that someone was peeking there. You jump peek this spot, you can easily TP or fake the TP, re-swing, and now you have an advantage on the fight if they're standing out in the open right here like this. If you were to deadly intention peek, you better be sure to hit your shot, because they're going to have usually a better chance of beating you, because there's only one place you can be, but they might not be there and you might not be ready for it. So it's all a matter of awareness.
Like Ferrari one taps, like real fast. I was like, oh my god, if they're gonna shoot this fast, I can't ace every round.
He's always got a system for scaling with his TP. He has it timed down, and he also has a flash timed down perfectly, so it doesn't blind him and maximally blinds the opponent. So by the time they get in there, it's pretty much game over if you catch them with the flash at that point. So it's very important if you're going to be playing YORU to not only pre-plan these things in a valve plant and think about where you want to throw things and how you want to scale into the bomb site. It's also important to practice the timing in the game and making sure that that is pristine.
Okay, bro. I'll still gift you 20. Okay?
Time to jump. I mean, I'm gonna take 20 get it.
Nothing.
I'm planning side. Side's blind.
Damn, it's over. Fuck up, man.
This is where we'll stop off here, right in this moment. Again, 5v2, clearly having a good time right now. Don't try this at home. He deserves to die here. Oh, he gets it too. He does get punished on that one, and his teammate gets punished too. Even though they do get the trade-off, it's now a 3v1 situation, which is statistically way better chance to be able to win this round. I'm so glad we get punished in this situation. Don't do what he just did.
Wow.
What would have been even sweeter is if he had lost the round to reinforce my point. This peak here, how many times have you guys died to a peak like this? This angle here, some people who are uneducated in Valorant would say that this is a 50-50. However, I would say that it's not really necessarily 50-50, it's whoever peaks first. Now, the issue that we have here is that there is actually a movement error on this first shot, as you can see right now. Crosshair over here, bullet off to the side. So it's a little bit of a movement issue on this. I always recommend that this fight here pretty much be avoided. And the reason why is that even if it is a 50-50, that's a coin flip fight. Do you really want to be taking coin flip fights when you're playing ranked, or do you want to take fights that are going to be 70-30 in your favor, even 60-40 in your favor? Why? Because more often than not, you're going to get consistent results that you want. You're going to win more of the gunfights. So in general here, this fight here could be avoided, could be jump spotted first, kind of like we did over in Garage on defense, to be able to decide if it's the fight that we want to take. We could be using a flash to be able to scale up. We could be using our TP to be able to scale up. There's a lot of different options. Asking for a dart, which just coincidentally happened to land right here. So if Eggster took even half a second longer, we probably would have had a much better fight in this situation. So don't elect to look for 50-50s, because these results will happen, and we could probably all agree that Eggster is probably going to be better than this ISO 9 times out of 10. So why do we lose here? It's because we took a fight that really wasn't more favored to Eggster than it was for ISO.
Airy. Why you have an airy? Oh, you have an airy. Why you have an airy?
Cypher's here. Cypher's here.
Backside.
My focus for the next video is going to be to show you how to properly scale onto one of these bomb sites. Now, there's nothing necessarily wrong with what he's doing in terms of theory of it. However, because he's not getting that front pressure, and he's separating so far from his team, more often than not, the result's going to be like this. So hopefully the next game that we watch with Eggster is going to give us a little bit more perspective on how to actually scale into a bomb site. I'm looking forward to that video. See you then.